I'm not Piers Morgan, but this is a Century of Cinema, a presentation we offer at the historic Plaza Theater in Miamisburg on the first and third Wednesdays of each month except December. In 2023, we opened the Century of Cinema to the general public and have attracted over 30 first-time presenters. Their presentations were so good, we invited some to join us here. Next up, the Poseidon Adventure. Here's Mark Ball.
Paul Gallico was inspired to write his novel after a voyage he had made on the Queen Mary. One morning, while having breakfast in the ship's dining room, the ship was actually hit by a huge wave, sending people and furniture crashing to the other side of the room. This movie was actually a pet project for producer Irwin Allen. Allen, who was best known for his television work, including Lost in Space and Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, but with the success of the Poseidon Adventure and his next production, The Towering Inferno, Allen became known as the Master of Disaster. Allen struggled for 3 years to get this film made, facing budget cuts from Fox, after a series of expensive flops. Allen eventually persuaded a couple of his country club buddies to guarantee half of the film's $5 million budget. The gamble paid off. Released on December 13, 1972, the film was a top box office hit of 1973, grossing over $125 million and earning 8 Oscar nominations. The soundtrack by John Williams became an instant hit, earning a Grammy. And after Maureen McGovern recorded a single version of There's Got to Be a Morning After, it became a hit for 1973, going to #1 on Billboard for 2 weeks. Some of the pre-capsize scenes, like in the staterooms and hallways and above the decks, were actually shot aboard the Queen Mary. Presently, the Queen Mary is permanently docked in Long Beach Harbor and has been turned into a hotel. I did check the rates, and they seem fairly reasonable at $200 a night for such a historic ship. Most of the exterior shots of the Poseidon were shot using a large miniature built from the original blueprints of the Queen Mary. That model is now on display at the Los Angeles Maritime Museum at Los Angeles Harbor. The film has an ensemble cast including 5 Oscar winners: Ernest Borgnine, Jack Albertson, Red Buttons, Shelley Winters, and Gene Hackman. Hackman, though, was not the first choice to play Reverend Scott, though. He only got the role after Burt Lancaster and George C. Scott had both turned it down. Shelley Winters was not the first choice for Belle Rosen either. Esther Williams was actually offered the role by producer Irwin Allen because of her real-life aquatic skills, but her husband, Fernando Lamas, just forbid her from taking it because he felt that since she had gained so much weight in retirement, she wouldn't photograph in a flattering way. Williams later admitted that she wished she had went with her own instincts and accepted the role. After Shelley Winters received the role, she went all out, gaining 35 pounds, and training with an Olympic swim coach so that her character, who is the former award-winning swimmer, would come across more realistic in the underwater scenes. After the movie was completely over and released, Winters complained numerous times that she was never able to get back to her original weight, no matter how hard she tried. This film was shot in sequence, and that was done to take advantage of the fact that survivors in the film became dirtier and more tattered and suffered injuries as they went along. Some of these were real and some were artificial as they progressed through the movie. Except for the most dangerous sequences, all the stunts were done by the actors themselves. And all actors at one point complained to the production staff about how physically demanding and difficult this shoot was. You have to remember, this was 1972. No computer special effects. All the explosions and hanging from things and swimming stunts were done by the people. 2 of the main characters in the film are played by Red Buttons and Carol Lynley, whose characters fall in love in the movie. The problem was they actually disliked each other immensely, refusing to have anything to do with each other except when cameras were rolling. It's very ironic that after being reminded about their continual fighting and dislike for each other over the years, that they ended up becoming great friends in the latter years. Both Carol and Pamela Sue Martin were with Buttons at the time of his final appearance. You should recognize many of these actors from classic television and film roles. Pamela Sue Martin was Nancy Drew. Jack Alperson was Grandpa in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and was the postal worker who got Lou to send all the Santa letters to the courthouse in Miracle on 34th Street. Of course, Roddy McDowall was Cornelius in the original Planet of the Apes. Leslie Nielsen was the captain of another kind of ship in the classic Forbidden Planet, and surely you remember him from the greatest disaster spoof of all time, Airplane.
The stewardess said both pilots.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Doctor, I've checked everyone. Mr. Stryker's the only one.
What flying experience have you had?
Oh, I flew single-engine fighters in the Air Force, but this plane has 4 engines. It's an entirely different kind of flying, altogether.
It's an entirely different kind of flying.
Of course, no film is a success without a spoof in Mad Magazine. For the September 1973 cover, it was the first ever not to show Alfred E. Newman's face. Instead, he is shown floating upside down with only his feet in sight. The satire was called The Poop Side Down Adventure. It was the best-selling issue in the magazine's history. The Poseidon Adventure is a timeless classic that has captivated audiences for decades. The film's impact on the disaster movie genre cannot be overstated, and its influence can still be seen in modern films today. Whether you're a fan of action-packed thrillers or simply appreciate the art of cinema, this film is sure to leave a lasting impression. So grab some popcorn, sit back, and brace yourself for a heart-pounding adventure on the high seas.
Be sure to visit the gorgeously restored Plaza Theater and our 38-foot wide movie screen, 4K laser projection, and a world-class surround sound system. Visit myplazatheater.com for showtimes and events. The historic Plaza Theater is located in beautiful downtown Miamisburg with unlimited free parking, shops to browse, and fabulous nearby dining options. Hope to see you soon at the Plaza.